Hello, hello everyone. Hello, Shayna. We are live on LinkedIn and we are going to put this on TV. I'm so happy to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me, Lucy. It's always a pleasure.
Wonderful. Some people were talking about you when we talked on TV last time. How did that go? Did someone talk about you? Did they say they saw you on TV or how did that go?
Yes, actually, a couple of clients, but on the consultations that I had with them, had mentioned that they had seen my last interview with you when they were at the Rogers Center waiting for an event. I think one of them was waiting for, I think, a Jays game. Other one was waiting for a concert to start. And so the broadcast, was on the screen and they're sitting there and they're watching. And clearly they thought, I need to get a hold of that lawyer, booked a consult, and both of them are clients now. So if anybody's wondering about how effective these interviews are, they are very effective, folks. People do see them at the Rogers Center as they're going about their business.
Awesome, awesome. Shana, thank you so much. I'm happy to hear because sometimes I want to hear that testimonial. And when I hear the testimonial, that encourages me to want to do more, right? So thank
Mm,
you. So
no
then
problem.
this lawyer who was seen on TV at Rogers Center and the client called you. Who is
Mhm.
this lawyer? Tell us about yourself.
So my name is Shayna Beeksma. I'm the owner of Beeksma Law. We are an entirely remote law firm based predominantly in Hamilton. We have an office there for use when needed, but we also have office space in Owen Sound and Collingwood as well for when clients need to utilize office space. But at the end of the day, we are convenient for our clients and we can service anybody throughout the province of Ontario. And our focus is primarily on estate law and trust law, as well as some commercial leasing. So, and also we also do real estate. As those who may know may have seen if they follow the Hamilton Spectator, we were just recently voted for the fifth year running as the best real estate law firm and best real estate lawyer in Hamilton. So we do those three
Wonderful.
areas. If you
And
have any needs, let us know.
competing
Yes.
against so many law firms, or how many law firms were there for you to win that?
Oh, a lot. A lot,
Wow.
and it's a city of over 500,000 people. So it's an honor we
Wow.
do not take lightly that we have the support of our community and the praise and admiration of our community. The fact that for 5 years running, we have come in at the platinum level, which is amazing. So
Wow.
thank you
And
to
that's
those who voted.
actually, I saw that online. I know I've been very busy. I never got to comment. And that's why I thought I would invite you so you can tell our viewers, because you
Yeah.
know what? I would rather you tell our viewers. So for you to win that award or whatever it is, what did you have to do?
Really just encourage, readers of the Spectator, past clients, referral sources, etc., to vote. Otherwise, it's out of your control. So all you can do is say, here's the link, folks. If you were thrilled with your interaction with our firm, with our services, and you wish to support us here because it is excellent PR for anybody that makes it into the top three, let alone, the top positions, please support us by making a few clicks and voting. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. And we're grateful that year after year, 5 years running, folks have believed in us, to the huge extent that they wanted to show their support that way. So we're thankful, we're grateful, and I think it's a true testimonial to the service and the service that we provide and the skilled advocacy that we provide as well, even with real estate transactions, to keep them on track, especially in a testy market, knowing that we have the expertise to get your deal done.
Awesome. So 5 years in a row.
Mhm.
Does that make you feel great about starting your own farm as an entrepreneur? And when did
Absolutely.
you start your own farm, Shena?
When did I start it, or why, or both?
When and why?
Yes, so I started it 5 years ago, May of 2018, and, yes, it is such a huge testimony to the fact that this was, without a doubt, among other, reasons, the best decision that I could have made for myself personally and professionally, and, yeah, definitely gonna continue doing it. Like I said, when was May of 2018. The why was a change in, basically the professional path, and so presented with a fork in the road. Do you continue? I was a 6-year call lawyer, to keep it brief at the time, which for those lawyers who are listening in know that 6 years is a point where you have mobility, you have options, you have clients, you have experience. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay on partnership track and go that traditional route? Do you want to go in-house with a law firm, with a company or government, or do you want to do your own thing? And the way the fork was laid out, it was one of those things where I could either, you know, go to another firm, go in house, or start my own thing. And my husband, thankfully for him, he encouraged me. He said, Shayna, you have clients that'll go with you wherever you go. So do your own thing. You can do this. I support you. And he left his work in mechanical engineering to support me in this firm and make this a family business. And here we are 5 years later.
It's
So
awesome.
it was a courageous choice, because it could have been easier, frankly, to take the more predictable route, more cushioned route of going in house or at another firm. But you know what? As you know, Lucy, being a fellow entrepreneur, it's a courageous step that you do not regret, but you do have to stick with it. And I'm glad we have.
Awesome, great. I really like that. And so then I know I didn't even prepare you about what we are going to talk about, but Shane, I know you don't need any preparation. So I know you have a young family, you have your own law firm, you are regional director here at the Entrepreneur Nation, leading the Hamilton chapter. How do you manage your time? Sometimes I feel like when I want to talk to you, like I'm bothering you. So how do you manage your time, and what is this work-life balance, business balance? Does it happen in your life?
I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as work life balance, especially as a professional woman who happens to be a mother. You know this as well. I'm a big believer in the term that I heard recently, work life integration. So it's not going to be balanced, but we do our best to integrate work and family obligations. So some days we'll be a great professional. I'll be a great lawyer, be very responsive to my clients, getting stuff out to them as needed, getting stuff filed. And then other days, but that means that I'm not being a great mother at that day, but that's okay. That's how it works. And then other days I'll be able to spend more time with my kids, but then it may be a day or two before the client stuff, that could have gotten done that day gets done. Does that make me a bad lawyer? No. But does that make me perhaps needing to have a bit more buffer in terms of responding and getting things out and planning and setting expectations? Yes. So it's all about how you manage it. You can still do both things reasonably well. Just adjust your expectations, adjust your clients' expectations for when they can expect to receive XYZ from you, and adjust your children's expectations that mommy is not always going to be available, and that's okay. There is no guilt with that mommy's leaving, setting up a legacy for you, and they get to admire that and decide how they will use your path to impact their planning for their path when they're old enough. So, yeah, work life integration. Structure your life so that you can weave in and out of the two much more seamlessly. It won't be balanced, but that's okay.
You know what? You remind me how my son would tell, other kids in school, those days, is now 22, my mom is busy,
Mhm,
right? So all the kids knew that Eric's mom is busy, right? So it's fair that we let our kids know what
mhm,
we are doing and how we are trying to balance it, so
mhm.
that we don't feel guilty if we are not able to do everything.
Exactly.
So yeah,
You
that's
set their
great.
expectations just like you
Yes,
set your clients' expectations. That
yes,
way, there's less room for disappointment. And then
yes.
I'm fortunate that I
Exactly.
have a very supportive spouse,
Mm,
and that's what I found is the key when I've spoken with other, women lawyers in particular who are mothers who have started their own practices. Many of them have a very tough time because they do not have good spousal village support. You cannot do this without a supportive partner and or a supportive village. Even if you have to pay for your village, you have to get it organized because you cannot do all the things. But
yeah,
when you can find that support, it's amazing. And so they expect that daddy will do a lot of the things that typically other kids would say that a mommy would do. Well, daddy's going to do it too because
yeah,
daddy's pulling his weight at home. He's an equal parent so that mommy can also do her work. So I
yeah.
think it's a good thing.
That's really
Balance children.
wonderful. Yeah, very happy to hear that. So,
Thank you.
Shina, let's come back to you as a member of the Entrepreneur Nation. You just reminded me today that it has been 3 years. It
Yes.
doesn't even feel or sound like 3 years. And I think when you're having fun, time runs very fast. So
Yes.
you're in your third year as a member of the Entrepreneur Nation in the Hamilton chapter, and you decided to lead the chapter. And
Mhm.
I've told that story that before you took over the Hamilton chapter, I uncrossed it, shut it down 3 times. You
Yes.
are the third person who was the fourth person taking it. And I was like, I know it will not survive, but it has survived. This
And
is the
thrive.
third year. So tell us, how has the journey been for you as a member
Yeah.
before we go to you as the leader of the group?
Sure. It's been great. It's been great. And I mean, I've been a member of several other networking groups over the years. And there are many things that make this one stand out. There's a caliber of the professionals that are in the chapter. These are people that I can readily refer work to and who can easily refer work to me as well. We're not looking at seats in the chapter that I would never really interact with. And also, I find that there's just been a lot of business generated, a lot of professional support, mentorship support. Yes, because you're surrounded by fellow business owners. Lucy, you are a wealth of knowledge in terms of and expertise when it comes to marketing and whatnot. So people who pay, $10,000 a month, to or for the entire term of a program with a business coach, Lucy. When you are a member, she's not going to give you, insight for free outside of that. But if you are a member and you have some issues with your business that you would like, a trusted and experienced ear to help you navigate, you could pay 10,000 to a coach with little certification to try to tell you that. Or you have the ability to approach Lucy when you're a member of the Entrepreneur Nation, and she will give you some very sage and sound advice. And so put it this way, at this point, this year, my firm is busier than it's ever been. I joined in COVID. I joined in the first year of COVID, probably what, April, I believe, of 2020. So things when things were very uncertain for most businesses. And my firm has not only survived but thrived, and thanks in large support to the referrals and business received from members of the nation, both inside the chapter and outside. I love our broad network that we have. And also, I mean, just the exposure, the profile building, being on LinkedIn to 20,000 plus persons who follow you, Lucy, the exposure is incomparable, frankly. And like I said, people at the Rogers Center, good clients. Those were significant files, by the way. They weren't, like $1,000 files. They were significant heavy hitter files that saw me on TV at the Rogers Center. I now have one associate. I'm now looking at hiring another associate because I'm so busy I can barely keep up on my own. That's a great problem to have. We don't turn away work that falls right into our wheelhouse. Now we scale, we add on more good talent. So my time has been prosperous, to say the least.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Shayna. Thank you so much. And that's what I like hearing, because we want to support businesses. We want to support professionals like you. And to me, the more I hear positive stories, that's really what fuels me to do more. And thank you for telling us that. So because you decided then to take over the leadership. And I like when you say our group, when you compare it with the other groups that you're part of, you say our group. I liked you for that because you said on TV last time our group. And so I said, I didn't want you to make it yours, Shena. When I feel somebody is having that sense of ownership, I want you to make it yours. So we appointed you as the regional director. Regional director means that you're the one directing the chapter. I even don't know when it's happening sometimes. Thank you for your leadership. And then because you did it so perfectly well the first year, we decided to promote you. Now you are senior regional director. You started by regional director, now senior. And seniority really means that you have been there, you have been consistent, doing the right things, and everything is going on well. So tell us, how is it going?
It's been going great. I mean, with each elevation in the level of my leadership, in the chapter and now through the organization, it continues to raise my profile professionally. It's a win-win. So I get to really have a vested interest in this organization and the promise that it has. It really our network, our chapter, this amazing company really is doing something very different in the world of professional networking that really sets us up apart from, you know, similar groups that are out there. There's so many exceptionalities here, and I believe in it. And it's the numbers don't lie. This is continuing to grow rapidly, like wildfire in the best way, because I think so many busy professionals like ourselves are tired of disappointing, results or micromanaging or just, having our schedules dictated to by other networking organizations. We can manage our time. We can manage who we connect with. What we need is for, the palette, the buffet to be presented to us in terms of here are some great key people, who comprise your chapter that you can connect with, you can do business with. And then you can run with that. We can manage our time. We can make the monthly meetings. We can reach out and connect. We can attend after 5 business bingos. We can attend the gala. Because especially for those of us professionals who are entrepreneurs, we know the hustle.
Yeah.
We just need to be presented with the opportunity to meet the right people, and then we can run with it and make excellent, money doing so, because our ambition just needed to mesh with the right people, and the right people are here.
Awesome, Shena. And so I know I make you laugh when I bring some of my way of looking at the Entrepreneur Nation. I
Mhm,
tell people networking and the chapters is one thing that we have out of so many. TV is one of them. So I
mhm,
tell them it's a buffet, as you said.
mhm,
So when
mhm,
you come on the buffet table, it's up to
mhm.
you what you want to eat. You
Yeah.
can eat all or you can eat one. And I
Yes.
find when people just pay attention to the chapter, it's like eating pizza. Like the
Mhm.
buffet is all there, you're just eating pizza. My friend, there's much more waiting for you.
There is
So
salmon,
there's
there's medium
salmon,
rare
there's
steak.
beef, there's this. So we have the after five mingle, we have the women's club, we have the
Mhm,
social club, we have the TV, we have the magazine, we have the podcast, we have live videos. What do you want to do to grow your
mhm,
business? We have
mhm.
blogs, but really, as you said, we don't want to micromanage professionals. We want them to come to us if they need us. So it's
Mhm.
just them knowing them. The buffet is there. If you need it, you can have it. So
Exactly.
thank you, and I'm happy you are always reminding the members in your chapter of what is
Yeah.
available.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I love the diversity also that is in the Entrepreneur Nation in our chapter, where you have people from all walks of life in terms of their backgrounds, their demographic backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds that are here, top tier professionals providing excellent services to their clients. So, and really rock stars in their own right. And I love it. And then I just want to make a brief mention of our newest member, Barry Yellen of Ross and McBride. He's a partner at Ross and McBride. He is a corporate and commercial litigator, and he's also an insolvency lawyer. And I believe he also handles fraud and defamation cases. So he is fantastic. I have known Barry professionally for about a decade, and he is also one of the leaders in our Hamilton legal community. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about Barry. We've served on committees together, and he's a frequent speaker at the Hamilton Law Association seminars. And we are truly happy and thrilled to have him join as the commercial litigator in our chapter.
Congratulations. And I know you're still planning on growing that chapter. So you're not
Absolutely.
done.
No,
Although
we're
there are
not
so
done. We have
many
about four
members,
more seats left to fill.
four more to
Um,
go. Which ones are
yes.
these?
Pardon?
Which ones are these? Do you remember which
I know
ones?
we have the group benefits seat available, the tax law seat available, paralegal seat available, and I'm trying to think there may be
Bookkeeper.
one other.
Bookkeeper?
Maybe bookkeeper. Yes,
Bookkeeper?
exactly. And that would round
Yeah.
it out. That would round
Yeah.
it out to the
Yeah.
maximum of 25, and then we will be full. We'll be at
Oh,
capacity.
that's great. Yes. And so then maybe you can start another chapter if you have the time in Hamilton.
Absolutely.
Hamilton is big. You send half a million
It's
people,
big. It's
right?
over 500,000 people, and a good chunk of them are well-heeled professionals, such as all of the members in our chapter and throughout our network. So
And
there may
exactly why I started in the position of senior regional director, because it means you have hit the 20 members and up. And so
yes,
that means that it gives the position, gives you an opportunity to open another chapter if you want.
exactly.
Or instead of me, having your members going to open in other cities, maybe you might have a member in your own chapter who want to open in Hamilton
Mhm,
with your guidance and leadership. As
mhm,
long as I'm not the one who is coming to do all the training and you can do that,
mhm.
absolutely.
Yep,
So thank you,
awesome.
Shena. Thank you for doing that. So I
Mhm,
wanted really to talk about your members. I've also used services of your members. They are very awesome because I sit here and if something comes to my way that I can send to members, I want to distribute. So
mhm,
Ndina Moi, she's the one actually who has recently incorporated a not-for-profit corporation that I'm doing.
mhm,
So she was very great at it and great because it's not for profit. That's why I had to go to her because I knew her rate would be great.
mhm,
So, and Pushpinda Singh, I've also used Pushpinda Singh. Who else there? And Shivan is the one who is going to be ensuring this not-for-profit corporation because we are appointing directors, and
mhm,
these directors, some of them are lawyers, and they are saying they want and directors liability insurance before they
mhm,
can take the position. So
mhm.
Shivan, I said you can get that. So I've also in the background, without telling you, been supporting your chapter.
Amazing. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And I mean, it's a testament to the quality of the
Yes,
professionals in our
yes,
chapter, which, as
yes,
I said at the outset of our interview today, really sets this organization apart. It's the quality of the members.
yes, yes. Awesome, Shina.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Clinton Howell Team's Weekly Market Update. I'm your host, Clinton Howell, realtor with RE/MAX Escarpment Realty. And have my friend and my associate here, Dwayne Kavanagh, with me from the TLC Mortgage Group, Dominion Lending. And we've got lots to cover today. First of all, we're going to start with the demand side of the business. What's happening in the RE/MAX Escarpment, RE/MAX Niagara Appointment Center? Some interesting stuff here, I can assure you. After a few weeks of steadily declining appointment numbers, last week showed a healthy increase, nearly 8% in weekly appointments. The gap between new listings and sold is narrowing, with our sales to new listings ratio at 83%. We are still seeing a 17% decrease in appointments compared to October of 2022. However, our appointment to sold index has dropped to 9.9. A dramatic change compared to the previous week, which was at 22. So this is huge. So it's taking a lot less appointments to get a property sold now. And I think, we've been seeing news leading up to today. Today was a big day. It was the meeting of the Bank of Canada. And Dwayne, what happened with the Bank of Canada today? Where's our rates at? What's happening for the next few months?
Huge day. So it's still a hold. So the Bank of Canada held, which the economists over the last few weeks have been talking about, which is really good for folks that have been sitting on the fence and thinking about what am I going to do in Q4? Am I going to take advantage and jump into the market? I think we're going to start to see a pretty big uptick there. But so happy to see. I think there was a big sigh of relief for folks that are in variable rate mortgages right now.
That's awesome. So the bank held, they paused the rate, which is great news. This is going to give buyers confidence. They can now get pre-approvals, locking out another 60 days. It's going to be very helpful. It seems like, and based on the appointment to sold index, we're seeing that the fall market has really kicked in now. So buyers have a luxury right now of a lot of inventory to choose from. We've got a low absorption rate because a lot of the properties haven't been getting sold quickly. Absorption rates, we're going to get into that specifically in a few minutes. So right now the buyers have a real opportunity. There's a lot to choose from. The interest rates are paused right now. So so basically, if you were going to buy a property right now, you'd be well advised to do so. And what would your strategy be, Dwayne, if you're going to buy a property now, knowing what's coming from the economist's perspective for 2024 in terms of rates? I'm expecting prices to start going back up again fairly steadily in the near future. But what would your strategy be right now, would you say, in terms of mortgage rate? Would you go fixed or variable, or what would you do now? And what would your plan be moving into 2024 when the rates start coming down potentially?
6 months ago, we were just looking at, okay, what rate can we qualify you at? Yeah. So as a mortgage agent, we're looking at income, we're looking at, your credit scores and that sort of thing to try to qualify you. But now we've got, 3-year fixed rates that are sitting above 7%, which is as high as we've seen in a very long time. So the strategy now is pretty straightforward. We know the economists have been talking about, following the U.S. market, and we might see a drop coming into around Q2, end of Q2 next year, so around mid next year, and we'll see the Bank of Canada probably follow that. So a smart move right now is lock into a variable. I think we're seeing really good products out there. I've got one lender, I'm not going to talk about the lender's name, but one lender that has a really good product. They're one of the lowest variable rates out there. Yep. And they've got a really interesting feature. And one of those features is even in a five-year variable, yep, they'll let you out after 3 years at no penalty.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good. Yeah. So a good strategy right now then would be to give variable rate mortgage and then look for about 12 months out when the rates start coming down to then lock into a 3 to 5 year fixed at that time.
Yeah, if that makes sense. If we see a big drop. The other thing too that I'm seeing a lot is a lot of folks I'm talking to, that are sitting with a 3-year fixed rate mortgage right now at like 2.5%, want to jump into the market, but they're scratching their head. I've got this great mortgage. What can I do with it? Well, they have a couple options. One is they can port that mortgage over and just get a second mortgage for the additional amount that they need. The other thing too is because we're in a specific situation where the fixed interest rates are so high and much higher than what they locked in at. Typically, when you break say a 5-year fixed mortgage, when you break that, you're going to have to pay what they call an IRD penalty, which is interest rate differential. Yep. In today's market, where the fixed rate's much higher than the rate they originally locked in at, yep, the banks love that and lenders love that. They can resell that mortgage at a much higher rate. So now most of these mortgages, the penalty that you're paying is 3 months interest. Okay. So if that's the decision, hey, break the mortgage, pay the 3 months, and buy the property and make it, the savings.
Okay.
And that's where you're coming from.
So you've got an advantage right now. So I guess a couple options then. One advantage you've got right now, if you were upgrading, is you could potentially break your current fixed mortgage and not have much of a penalty, 3 months interest, and lock into your new mortgage. Or you could even potentially port over an existing mortgage and then add on like a variable rate piece, which then you could look at, refinancing the whole thing in a year in terms of locking in to a fixed rate at that time. Now, if you were downgrading right now, I guess that's where this IRD might be really beneficial, the interest rate differential. If you were downsizing or something to that effect and didn't need all the mortgage you currently have, breaking it right now is a good time to do so, because the rates have gone up so much that the IRD is just the 3 months interest instead of 15 or 20 grand, which often those are the kind of numbers we were hearing about when the rates were declining. Okay. Yeah. In terms of the Burlington market, Dwayne, I've got some updates here. We've currently got 526 active listings, which is similar to where it was a week ago. 130 sales in the past month, which is down from 135. And that's giving us 4.05, so just over 4 months worth of supply right now. So that's a ton of supply, which is why I'm saying there's a ton of selection. It's a great time to buy. 34.2% on the absorption, which means only 34% of the properties are getting sold within the first 30 days. Listing cancellations are definitely on the rise as well. We're seeing in the past 30 days, 162 listings canceled, likely relisted. And that was compared to, if we go back a month ago, it was 112. So the number of listings getting canceled and relisted is way up. As a result, we're still seeing a fairly short median and average days on market, 17 median days, average 23. But that's very skewed because a lot of the properties that haven't been selling. So we're not seeing those higher days on market. So we're going to know, the days on market is sort of upticking. If we go back, a few months, it was 11 and 9 days. Now we're at 17. So it definitely is taking longer. But I think once we start selling through the inventory and the prices get adjusted down to the current market, we're going to start seeing those average days on market being a true reflection of what's been happening. The negotiations have been fairly tight on the properties that have been selling. About 97.06% was the sold price versus original list price ratio. So properties are typically the ones that are getting sold within a few percent of their asking prices. In the Hamilton area, we have 1,885 active listings, up from 1,817. 384 sales in the past 30 days, 4.9 months worth of supply. So again, we've got a lot of options here right now in the market for buyers, 30% absorption. And again, similar story, 17 median days on market, average 25. Oakville, what's happening in Oakville is we got 491 active listings, similar to a week ago. 97 sales in the past 30 days, which is down from 115. So the sales in Oakville have actually been declining. 5 months worth of supply in Oakville. 30% absorption, and again, 18 median days on market, average 27. So we're starting to see some of the longer properties that have been on the market getting sold, and that's bringing the average up, where the median being in the middle of the pack is still at 18. 96.56% on the sold price versus original list price. So about 3.5% is the typical we're seeing for negotiations there. That's all I got for you today, fans out there. Please reach out if you have any questions about the local markets, what's happening. And if you want any further details on anything Dwayne said, please reach out. Love to hear from you and answer those questions. Thanks for joining me today, Dwayne.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it.